I'm Mark Kirby, and this video is a summary of the company project that I've assigned for Accounting 1A. The project is designed to be the capstone for the class. For the project, I want you to pretend that you are an analyst for a large brokerage firm. You are to analyze two competing companies in the same industry, and at the end of the analysis, make a recommendation as to which one your clients should invest in. The intent is that your clients, if they invest in that choice that you made, they will get the best return on their investment. To do the analysis, you will need to use all the analytical skills that we cover in class. The first step in the project is to select two companies that are competitors in the same industry. I've provided a list of these. A copy of that list is on Blackboard. Please limit yourself to just that list. We're going to stick with just those companies. We're not going to let you pick any company that you want. Once you select the two companies, get a copy of the complete annual report for both companies. By complete, I mean that it contains all the reports, the auditor's report, the financial statements, the full notes to the financial statements, the whole ball of wax. If you don't have the complete annual report, you'll not be able to do the project. It won't just be difficult, you won't be able to do it at all. There's information in each of those pieces that you're going to need to be able to do this analysis. You also need to have the most current report that's available. The two companies will most likely have different year ends. So for example, one of them may have a June 30th year end, the other one may have a December 31st year end. What it comes down to though is the year is the most important part. By that I mean if, say, we're in June of 2013 and your company has an April 30th 2013 year end, the report with that date on it will be the most recent annual report. Remember, well, as another example, if your company has an October 31 year end and you have the statements October 31, 2012, those would also be the most current annual statements, because until we get to October 31, 2013, those are the most current statements. They only come out once a year. Okay, moving on. The second step is to select a company from the two that you've chosen. We're going to just select one. You pick two, they're competitors. Pick one. Which one do you think is the best investment? And then I want you to pretend that you've been given a sum of, say, $50,000, exactly $50,000, to invest in the company. Record the purchase price of the stock. How many shares did you buy with the $50,000? And then how much is the per share price of the competing company trading for? How much is the per share price of the competing company? How many shares of that company could you have bought? How many shares of this company did you buy? Then create a schedule of both of these share values and the number of shares that you bought or could have bought. And we're going to update the schedule weekly on Friday by recording the share price of the stock, and then show the gain or loss on your original investment. If you guys have questions, there's an example in the instructions for the project. Third, prepare the company analysis. This will be, well, selecting your companies and making your hypothetical investment will happen in the first 2 weeks of class. After that, the next step, prepare a company analysis of each of the two companies. The company analysis is to be an overview of the companies, a discussion of the business they're in, their individual approach to the marketplace, and their strategic advantage and weaknesses. Since you are looking at both companies, also discuss how the two companies are both similar and different from each other. Next, prepare a market analysis of the market environment that your two companies operate in. Who are the major players in the market? Who's the target customer? What are the services or product that you're selling? What's the overall business environment, and what market-wide challenges exist for these companies in this market space? The company analysis and the market analysis are due. They're the first thing that we're going to turn in about the time of the first exam. After you complete them, from there on we'll be doing what's called a journal entry. and you'll turn those in conjunction with each of the following exams. A journal entry is an update of news and press releases about your two companies, along with the discussion of the principles and analysis tools that we learn in the class. You don't have to do them all, just the ones that we've learned since the last journal or the last exam. You'll be calculating analytical ratios, all of them that we cover in the class. Some of them may not apply to your company in the end, but calculate them anyway. To do this, you'll have to use live data from the annual reports that we discussed earlier. Be sure to show your work when you calculate these and the quantities that you pulled from the financial statements so that I can look and see that you pulled the right amounts. Most importantly, be sure to tell me what the ratio analysis means. Don't just throw a number at me. Tell me what the individual ratios tell us and what is the significance of each of those ratios in relation to the competitor. So is company A doing better? Is company B doing better? And why you know that from the ratio. Okay? The company analysis, the market analysis, and the journals are all to be done in groups. I've let you choose who you want to work with, so you've got to stay in those groups. There is no changing groups during the semester. The final report is to be done individually. Each of you will be turning in a final report. Once you get to the final report, all of the analysis and data gathering should already be done through the journals that we've already turned in and the market analysis. Simply update your ratio analysis to include any ratios that have been covered since the last journal was turned in. Then the final report is really a summary. It's not a whole great big report starting over, but it's a summary of the two companies, the marketplace, and your analysis of the two. The analysis must include the calculations you did in your journals, and in the instructions I give you a great table format that you can use to turn that in. You'll turn in a chart of all the analytical ratios. The written report will need to focus on, not on all of them, but only on the ones that tell you which company is doing better or worse than the other. Explain to me how you know which one is doing better, which one is doing worse. Conclude with a discussion on which is the best investment based on the analysis you did. Finally, compare this new educated decision on which one is the best to the one you made at the beginning of the semester. Tell me the results of your $50,000 investment that you originally made, and then show me what if you had made your educated investment of $50,000 and what would have been the outcome had you made the educated investment instead. I've included an outline of the items that you should consider including in the project. The outline is with the instructions in Blackboard down in the project tab. This outline is, I'll post examples of the journals from previous students and company and market analysis. And you know, if you turn in really great work, I may come and ask you or your group if I can use your project that you turned in as an example for future years. In an effort, well, the school wants me to be more paperless, so we'll be using Blackboard to submit the projects, company analysis, journals. Please submit them as Microsoft Word documents. It's your responsibility to make sure that the file meets that requirement. Because if I can't open it, because it's in some funky format or software I don't have, I determine that you didn't turn it in. Okay, so it's your responsibility. I've had problems opening files saved in Apple formats in the past, so I highly recommend you don't turn them in that format. Anyway, just be sure your file format before you submit it in Blackboard. After you turn in your journals, your company analysis, your project, I'll review the submissions, I'll make comments on them, and I'll return them to you through Blackboard. As we're going through this during the semester, if you have any questions, bring them up in class, send me an email. I'd be more than happy to get back to you. Good luck with the project. I hope you find it a lot of fun, and again, let me know if you have any questions.